Hey people, Positive Paul. It is Thursday, October 5th, 2023. And yes, as time marches on, we we are witness to one of the most, I guess, diabolical, devious, deviant, destructive, deliberate, intentional collapse of what will be once known as the land that's called America. Now, the main reasons is that there were men and women shortly after World War II, specifically in the 50s and 60s, had noticed certain nefarious activities take place within this military industrial satanic complex. And when they reported these activities to maybe their superiors, they were they were immediately dismissed, and the ones that continued to follow up on what they were witnessing, were done away with. Now, nowadays, these same group, they want to see their victims squirm. Because why would the United States want me to continue to do these videos? Now, over the course of the past 8 years, I've been reporting on how the military industrial satanic complex has been spending millions of dollars to mitigate my testimony, my witness against them concerning MKUltra, satanic ritual abuse, but more importantly, these implants that are slowly destroying my health. And no one on planet Earth can step forward and document anything similar. All you hear about is Elon Musk Neuralink, the remote neural monitoring system, AI, all this stuff. And yes, they've got something going on. We know that. But again, what are they really capable of doing? Or really is more their Hollywood hybrid hack act is just that. They make these movies, and the sheeple, as Bill Cooper said, certainly are brainwashed. Now, again, I compiled over the course of merely 6 hours yesterday in Tijuana some of the most damaging evidence that I could bring forth to any court, any legal system, and ask questions. What is this about? Now, who does a non-stop, never-ending investigation where they spend millions of dollars to buy off snitches, do slander campaigns, but never ever to come face their victims? And more importantly, as you all well know, here I am in Mexico. And what you see here, everybody has seen this over the past couple weeks on how they continue to flood these so-called groups, individuals that are trying to get out of their misery from wherever they come from and come to the supposed land of milk and honey, which they've been invited in. But more importantly, the legal process of entering any country, specifically America, has been overturned. And so what we saw a couple weeks back in San Diego is more evidence concerning that these so-called, well-intentioned individuals in D.C. have your best interest. Watching Americans, maybe in their homes they talk amongst each other, but they won't really stand up because they're cowards. They have something to lose: their homes, their money, their stuff, right? But here you see, this is San Diego because you can see the area code 858. Now, here they spent an untold amount of money yesterday chasing me around only to let me live another day and do one more video. But yet, at the same time, these people are being released into San Diego or wherever else, Texas, Arizona, take your pick, and told you're free. You're free to go and do whatever you want. And here you see these individuals directly asking, hey, look, I want to do this, I want to do that. And they're being told, don't worry about it. Nothing's going to happen to you because, see, this is the controlled collapse of America. And we need all you individuals and groups to come in and keep the Ponzi scheme going. We'll give you jobs because, see, if these baby boomers stop getting their retirement payments, their Social Security, their disabilities, then they might wake up and start asking questions because, see, nothing's adding up. If you took an actuary and examine all these accounts to find out where the money's going, you would be shocked. So, yes, for some reason, myself, Positive Paul Wilson Linder Jr., man, they really got to keep an eye on me while they're letting people just flood the country that they know nothing about, who they are, where they came from. And it's one of the most sickest things to watch. And will this ever be solved? Well, of course not, folks. And see, the Americans, they think that somehow the ones that are still hanging on have dodged these Satanists, kept them off their back. You didn't. You're of no consequence. Get that through your thick heads, people. Now let's look at this. Now, I believe this individual that goes by the name of Gina Marie Colvin. She's been around for quite some time. On when you look at the face of it, she's well-intentioned, speaks of the Lord, speaks of trying to find ways to motivate people, stay positive, right, folks? But see, there's a few issues because, see, once you step into this conspiracy theory arena, and no matter how you go about it, all right, you're gonna attract the attention of these Satanists. And see, in case you didn't know, the Satanists, they have their own set of social media frauds that pretend to be something they're not. And I am very suspicious too. Over the years, man, YouTube, Facebook, all that stuff, I don't know how they get away with the censorship. I mean, we do, but to continue this and like outright, when there's individuals whose lives are being destroyed, fuck with on a daily basis, where resources are being frivolously spent to play games, these satanic shenanigans, while meanwhile these people that virtually they talk about the same subject matter, they seem to go untouched, living comfortable lives, running their yaps. Now here she is. Ooh, there's a real strange jellyfish UFO in the sky. In Las Vegas, of course. Now, what's unusual about this is these anomalies, these certain events, I've been documenting now for going on 8 years. I have enough evidence of things that look like this over the years that would make anybody start to wonder what the hell's going on. So what they do is, when I'm seem to be waffling out there as one of the few people who will stand up, state my full name, who I am, who I'm connected to, why this is occurring, and also have this evidence to go along with it. And there's virtually no one else. The vague testimony, right, folks? All right? You don't know who these people are. They're most of them are social media frauds, cowardly little weasels being useful tools for these Satanists. But when you start to examine these people, you begin to wonder, what the hell is going on here? We keep hearing about these hybrids, these clones, these, well, Edomite Satanists that have their DNA has been severely damaged. It's cursed. And if they didn't have the technology to keep them looking, well, youthful, keep them looking more human like, because if you really knew what some of these individuals look like, you would be shocked. Frankenstein would step up and win a beauty contest, all right? Now, see, I got involved with this shapeshifter reptilian garbage for the one reason is I know that this is something that's going to be in everybody's face. They've been able to sensationalize it, make a joke of it. Anybody that gets remotely close to this, all right, they will be attacked. But yet, when you look at how social media is used and these tools that, shapeshifters, this and that, and you see the childlike comments that banter about, it's like, how can anybody take this seriously? But see, we know this is an issue. Because if there's such a thing as Satan's seed, the father of all lies, all right, we know these creeps exist. And they are diametrically opposed to humans, Jacob. And we'll get further into the complicated matters of Jacob and Esau, which is at the crux of the problem. But what we've been able to determine is that there's certain individuals that have these anomalies, specifically in the certain very hot spots that we talk about, meaning eyes, nose, mouth, hands, exposed skin, the garment spotted by the flesh spotted by the garment, folks. And when they start to go off script, when they're in direct sunlight, you see these weird things happen that don't happen on other individuals. Now, you people gave it your best shot with me. You can find the slit eye on me probably all day if you look hard enough. But remember what I told you, freaks. If a little boy or girl was put through satanic rituals, MK Ultra style experimentation, would they display the slit eye attribute? Well, what the fuck do you think, you sick fucks that think this is entertainment? You're gonna one day wake up and realize that it's over. So here you go. She is very, very suspect. I don't know what to tell you folks, but I've been waiting on this. Now, see, that's what she's supposed to look like. And this particular video, too, because they know what the hell I'm doing, they quickly were able to correct the video, which they can do. As I told you, we do not see this electromagnetic distortion all over the board anymore. They corrected something or they mitigated somehow. But it's there. So don't put your life on hold, okay? She's doing just fine. Does she realize about these Satanists, huh? Well, she's preaching to all of us. Now, I get confused when I see all this electromagnetic distortion. And here I am, I'm sitting with implants. Who knows how many satanic rituals were done on me. And yet, I seem to, well, you people, I have, no concern. I put myself out there. I'm not above criticism. I can be examined. But you better have your shit together. Because when you come at me, and I know who you are, all right, you want to play games with me? Well, I would beware. So here we are once again, going down this lonely road, and I don't know what it will take. Certainly, we've seen all the, what was supposed to happen on September 23rd? We don't know because nothing happened. What was supposed to happen yesterday with the emergency test? Well, nothing happened. Are there people walking around zombie-like? Now, see, what they do is they string these so-called truthers, because there are truthers that want to do the right thing, but you're being embarrassment. You're an embarrassment to the truth community because you won't change course. When you continue to do the same thing over and over again with no factual basis, then you have to go back and re-examine, reassess what it is you believe, you think you're presenting, because we're here to help each other, all right? Not mock each other, not cut each other down, not be abusive in the sense that when we hear something that we don't like, don't think that, hey, this can't be true, right? There's actually these creepy Freemason Satanists that run around, and they're essentially they're at the top of this snitch network. All right, these Benedict Arnolds up in the United States. Can you imagine that these people are sitting around waiting for that phone call to get their little chump change to go out and be a snitch? I'll never forget last November when I sold the last thing I had, my guitar, up in San Diego, and they rolled out the red carpet. Literally, over the course of the day, over 100 people were just sitting around, able to come out of their houses and wander around the streets of Pacific Beach, Mission Bay, looking for me. And I ran into a couple of them, and I gave them the business, and they put their heads down and skulked off. These fucking lowlifes. And they could be your grandmother, they could be your aunt, uncle, they could be your father, your brother. All right? Once you become a snitch, a social media fraud, you're cursed. So let's slow down. Let's see what we can come up with. Now, these guys, third phase of the moon, I've gone over them again. All right? They think that somehow they're also, see what happens. I point these people out over the years, and look, it's Pop Goes the Weasel. But see, these trust fund babies that are on tour right now in America, as of a couple days ago, they want to hear from the American people about their UFO encounters. Let us know. We want to talk to you. They're traveling from Santa Monica to New York, all right? Northwest, south, hey, we're going to hit all the spots and we want to hear from you. But see, they don't want to hear from me. I'll never forget when I tried to contact Russ Dizdar back in 2016, kept sending emails, nothing. And to watch this blowhard. And now what happens to these types? Well, they go the way of the dodo bird, all right? And again, if you're still hanging around, you think you got something figured out, and you're mocking me, well, I would definitely reevaluate who you are, what you're about, and what your future holds. So yeah, these trust fund babies, all right, they're on their little mission, but yet, see, they keep presenting the material that occurs around myself, and they can't explain it. When you listen to them, well, we're not quite sure what this is yet. We can't explain it, but we want to talk to you and see what you think. Here's what I'll tell you. The social media fraud, this is a never-ending thing because this is a business for them. They benefit off this monetarily. Well, some of us are walking around broke all the time because that's the way it works. They take away your ability to have money, to be able to fight these Machiavellian monsters, these creeps that are... they run the world, folks. Don't you get that? Well, some of you do. Look, see, this again, remember, I don't direct my ire at everybody. There's some good people following me. I understand that. And I'm going to give a shout to my buddy Jude because he's kept me afloat. This guy has let go of more money, all right, in the past 5 months to help me out than any of the combined efforts of everybody else that's helped me out since 2016. And I get not all of you are walking around with big bank accounts. I understand that. Some of you are actually just scraping by. I get that. And if you can't help, it's all right. But what we do is we pray for each other. We we do try to give a sense of hope, but we can't stick our heads in the sand, people. All right? When you see these frauds making money hand over fist, they can travel around unopposed, covering the same information that people's lost their lives. The real whistleblowers, all right, that are no longer with us. And this goofball, Grush, whatever his name was, the last UFO, UAP disclosure congressional get together, he didn't tell you anything. So let's slow down again. Now, what's interesting about these hybrids is, look, they come in all sizes, shapes, forms, and you have there's hybrids on social media that they just go over spaghetti recipes. There's other ones that might tell you how to fix a truck, like Richie from Boston. I think he's more of Edomite stock though. But you have the ones that actually they preach the word of God. And it's amazing that some of these people that follow them have no clue of who they're following. And what I always tell you people, when you see the electromagnetic distortion, everything else in the video is just fine except the tear, the hybrid, then you've got a problem. We've got a problem, Houston. We've got a problem. Now see, I don't know who these individuals are. I got nothing against them. But do you think they were any of these dopes would lend a hand to me? No, nope, nope. Their social media is designed for one thing: to mislead, confuse, but more importantly, entertain. We know that. Now here's something I find unique, that these hybrids, they get the splotchy. It's the flesh spotted by the garment. And I'm in Mexico. I like this guy, but he's got the same problem. All right? And when you're telling your people that there's no corruption in our government, but you're doing it as you raise your arm with no hand, that becomes a problem, people. Now, who can believe this guy anymore? Do you understand that you're going to follow this chump, this goofball, this snuffleupagus right off the cliff? There's no saving him or you. Now, do you think he's much better? Do you think, people? Or are they just lackeys for Uncle Carl, Bush, Kissinger? A long list of the higher ups that, the real high ups you never see because they exploit people to do their dirty work. Now, what do you think? Do you think that fallen angel, that demon inside this guy, do you think that they've got your best interest in mind? Why cannot the fallen angel inside Biden keep him together? I don't get it, folks. Anybody got any ideas? Let me know. Now, these backroom deals, all right? This other little baby Jabba the Hutt. I cannot believe that they got away with this. They've got so much blood on their hands. And look, the other thing with these videos, the backlash, all right? Look, since day one, these assholes have been watching my videos because they don't know what the hell happened back in the early 80s. All right? They have psychiatrists that have watched my videos and they make up these profiles. Oh, yeah, Positive Paul, he's crazy. We'll get him, right? We're gonna shut him up. Well, they didn't do that. But see, somewhere within the United States government, they sit there feverishly creating all this garbage concerning me, that I'm a big boogeyman, that, ooh, I'm going to do something. A 58-year-old man hobbling around, limping around broke in a country that's essentially hostile. to the United States. I mean, look, if you're helping them out, if you're giving them money, well, they'll like you for a while, but you know, the minute this all ends, you're gonna see these people behavior change. See, here's the thing with you social media frauds and everybody else. If you're a do-gooder and you just going along, but see, once take your money away, take your job away, take your home away, and see how you act, see how your behavior is. I got a strange feeling that all of you, if you were put in that position, you would just lay down and die probably. Or would you stand up like a man and a woman? See, this is what needs to happen to America in order for the general population to wake up and put an end, put the kibosh on this backwards ass Babylonian satanic usury system of servitude. Now, I'm going back over all my stuff. I have to reevaluate my situation, people. It is now Thursday, October 5th, 2023. Feast of Tabernacles has begun, but here we are. We're cycling through another year, and not much is changing prophetically. So what that does is we always have to go back and retool, re-examine what were we missing. And one of the things I did is I paid a visit back to Fritz Springmeier. Now, I'm going to do a separate video on these people that seem to report on the issues concerning satanic ritual abuse and MK Ultra. Now, we all know Fritz has been at the forefront since the early 90s, but there's a correlation, late 80s, early 90s, when all these people crop up, all right? Cooper, Art Bell, Limbaugh, they all have their certain marching orders. Limbaugh covered the political, Art Bell the conspiratorial, and then, you've got the rest. But if you had not studied Fritz and you're trying to, I guess, make awareness of satanic ritual abuse, MK Ultra, you haven't done your homework. So this stuff takes a lot of time. And one thing about Fritz is, I don't know how they were able to set him up with a bank robbery. All right. In my case, the best they could do is have a stolen car caper entrapment scheme that's now almost 10 years ago. But Fritz actually went to jail for aiding and abetting bank robbers. How did this intelligent person get himself in that situation? But here he is with Alex. And you have to go back and listen to the interview, March 30th, 2012. This one I picked out because it's the most telling. Now, Fritz, he disappeared, folks. He's back now. I found something recent, but not recent. It's a year ago. This guy, I think Killa Priest, he gets Fritz on, but Fritz was sounding normal, but there was a while there where he didn't sound right. They did something to him. But the thing with Fritz and the others, all they can do, the only MK Ultra survivors that ever get interviewed, is the main one is this ditz, Kathy O'Brien. All right? And there's only a few others. They keep going back to the same people. And that's another telltale sign of how just nothing's on the up and up, man. I don't know how these people do it, but, here's Fritz, looking all snake-eyed with Killa Priest about a year ago. He did sound a little better. He wasn't slurring his words, but, he knows something. Now, think about this. His birthday just passed a couple weeks back. He was born in Kansas. He's a baby boomer. Now, all of a sudden, this guy just gets interested in the Illuminati to do all these crazy, years worth of investigating and writing books, the bloodlines of the Illuminati. The one thing that Fritz is right about with the 13 bloodlines, and look, we don't even know anymore about these groups, but the main group is the Merovingians. and that's me. Now, the other thing is that you people know, and I've already explained, I am an Ashkenazi Jew. My last name being from Bavaria, knowing about the Merovingians. See, in your mind, the Ashkenazi Jews are the heart of the problem. And maybe they are, or maybe they're being used. But see, I've tracked my family history. I know how I found myself in this position. And the social media fraud can't explain that. It's all vague, general type testimony, if you want to call it that. But here's Fritz. So what I've come to understand is that we're in deep shit because these dopes that think people with the slit eyes are all reptilian, and if you examine their dirty little mugs, they put their self up on social media or wherever else you could find them, get a picture of them. See, look, I've got people in Mexico, all right, from the beginning. I have thousands and thousands of pictures of these dopey stalkers, the Community Watch Snitch Network, and these people, some of them are looking pretty suspect, but they got the mark above them because they're up to no good, and most of them are tears. So we're in a big problem, folks, because you don't think that Jacob and Esau isn't the heart of the matter here, right? Esau was red, hairy. Very interesting, huh, folks? Now, let's look at this. You've seen it a million times. This is one of my best directed energy attacks here in Rosarito when I was doing the swap meet. This is 2019.
Direct overhead again on February 19th, 2019.
There's the dopey stalker Rich who disappeared. Now, let's do the capper. I want to do a video coming up with the handiwork of my buddy Jude that's been helping me. God bless him and his wife. But see, Jude takes my videos and he actually looks at them. He examines them. And then what he does is he's able to actually zoom in on this. Do you see what he does? So I know the rest of you can do that. So you assholes out in the social media landscape that mock me and you don't put the effort in because you're just a tool to aggravate me. I get this, all right? But see, there's people that actually do take this seriously, and he's one of them. He's been giving me these clips, and I've got them. I'm doing my best to back them up, and I'm ready to walk into any courtroom. But see, any in the legal system, it's corrupt. Every judge, lawyer can be bought off. They're just dirty whores. If you tell me, oh, my dad wouldn't do that, yeah, your dad's a bought and paid whore if he's a lawyer. So is your mom, so is your brother, so is your sister. Not a damn one of them. Because if they were good, you would say, hey, man, there's this fucking guy down in Mexico that keeps squawking about these Satanists spending millions of dollars playing games, fucking with them, but they won't do him in. Why can't they do me in, folks? I could give a fuck, Whatever they want to do with me is fine. But see, it's going to come back and haunt them. When I'm gone, I'm going to make sure I haunt every last one of them. And I can, pray for my enemies and hope God, does something. So when we try to pray for our enemies and they will never ever reciprocate, what would be the point of that? Do you see how complicated this gets? So this is where our walk in faith is just like, hey, if the man upstairs wants me to continue to walk around in poverty, keep squawking about these Satanists being used as an example for the Mexican people, because look, the Mexican people and other people around the globe, they just look at America as a piggy bank. Don't you get that? These people have got very few social skills. They can't even give you a proper greeting. They'll never say your name. They just use vague terms like whitey, gringo, and there's other ones that they like to use. But again, imagine just being exploited and you don't know better. And then the next thing you know, the day comes when they pull the plug and your very life is on the line. I don't know what it's going to take to wake up anybody. So there we are, folks. There I am. I seem to be one of the few people in the United States that has the ability to take on this rogue government. The rest of you are just hiding wherever you're hiding, under your rocks, in your houses, hoping that Big Brother doesn't find you. Well, he will someday soon, because we know the end is near. And if you think these assholes around the world are working to make the world a better place, get a clue, all right? Now, you BitChute people, you didn't like my TJ in action video yesterday. And see, I like watching videos that are on location. They're outside, because I look for these anomalies in everybody's videos. They're there, some of them, but these people that, you know, have no clue what's going on in their video, nor can they explain it. So yesterday, we're at a stoplight in Tijuana, and all of a sudden, I see the lights come roaring up. It's the third version of the National Guard, which is sponsored by the UN. We know this, how this works. And there was something going on. Now, these people do not want to be filmed, but as you saw in the very quick minute and whatever half video, that they pulled up, they jumped out, they took their positions, and I thought maybe I might catch something. So that's why I rolled the film. But still, I think it's interesting just to see what Tijuana looks like, and the fact that the military and these National Guard types that took over the security, apparently, they're everywhere. Because, see, unfortunately, the police, which are good people, they have to get involved in the corruption just to get by, to help their families with a couple bit of pesos. That's why the corruption is nonstop. It's not that they're bad people, all right? I try to help these people out. And look, the slander campaign that's been going on me now 8 years down here, it's definitely had an effect. But you can tell there's still some that they know something's up. And I have a very small group that continues to help me, hang in there with me, just like yesterday, giving me a little bit of work so I can make $20 for the day. That's the average daily pay down here, people. And they spent who knows how much chasing me around all day, never to come question me. You know, it's beyond. To try to sum it up and accurately speak about this in an intelligible manner, it can't be done, because why would people spend millions of dollars on a never-ending investigation on someone, never to question them, nothing, just run around, slander, oh, this person needs to be watched, crazy, he's a domestic terrorist, a white supremacist. How many times do you think they've used that excuse? Because if they can't, they tried to set me up with the crime, but either the crime was only used to get the harassment going because they couldn't lock me up, and now the only thing they could do is outright find another entrapment scheme, pay off, I guess, these people down here to somehow pull some satanic shenanigans. But it really, look, the curse is going to hit. You people are all on borrowed time. You're about to become bugs on a windshield. And the rest of us that, you know, I can't do much. Like I said, I can pray for you people, but I'm in no position. Someone sent me an email that if I could help them out with money. And I'm like, do you fucking watch my videos? I'm walking around broke. This is the way this has been. Now, if you've been involved with me in my life and you're on the wrong end of it, Oh boy, your bad luck is gonna hit. It might not come right away, but I would be very careful. So, see, I can make my case, and I can be nice too. I'll maybe do another nice Bible study someday, so the Bible study frauds can use my information. I don't know it all. I learn. I watch. Every day is something new, and what we look for is our peace of mind, and that's all we want. We want to go to sleep at night and know when we wake up we're not going to be fucked with. So, with that being said, folks, always keep your eyes to the sky because you never know who might show up through those clouds.